What's the weirdest dating experience you had? I met Garrett on a dating app. His profile seemed normal. Marketing consultant, liked hiking, had a golden retriever named Biscuit. No obvious red flags anywhere. Our first date was coffee at a downtown cafe. He was charming, funny, asked thoughtful questions about my work as a graphic designer. When he suggested dinner for date 2, I said yes, without hesitation. He picked an upscale Italian place downtown. Everything started perfectly. We ordered wine, shared stories about our worst work disasters, laughed about his dog's obsession with stealing socks from his laundry basket. I was thinking this might actually go somewhere. Then the waiter brought our appetizers. Garrett pulled out a small leather notebook and started writing furiously. "What's that?" I asked, cutting into my bruschetta. "Just taking notes," he said casually, not looking up from his scribbling. I thought he was jotting down wine recommendations or something. But when I leaned closer, I saw my name written in neat block letters at the top of the page. Under it, ordered calamari despite claiming lactose sensitivity earlier, inconsistent food restrictions, possible deception or poor memory, ask follow-up questions about dietary habits. My fork froze halfway to my mouth. "Are you taking notes about me?" He looked surprised, like I'd asked why he was breathing. "Well, yeah. How else am I supposed to remember everything important?" I stared at him. "Remember what exactly?" "Details for our relationship database," he explained matter-of-factly. "I track compatibility metrics across all my dating interactions. It's the only logical way to find optimal long-term partnership potential." My stomach dropped faster than his credibility. "All your dates?" Garrett pulled out his phone with obvious pride. He showed me a meticulously organized spreadsheet. Columns labeled name, age, profession, date location, food preferences, conversation topics, physical affection, comfort level, emotional stability indicators, long-term potential score. There were 47 rows of data, 47 women reduced to data points. "I'm currently dating 12 women," he said proudly, scrolling through his digital catalog. "This system helps me optimize for the best possible match, much more efficient than traditional dating approaches." I set down my fork carefully. "You're dating 12 people simultaneously?" "Efficiency," he nodded enthusiastically. "Why limit yourself to one when you're still in the data gathering phase? That's like choosing the first car you test drive." The waiter approached to refill our water glasses. Garrett immediately grabbed his pen and scribbled, "Polite to service staff despite clear distress. Good emotional regulation under pressure." "This is completely insane," I said, my voice rising. "Actually, it's quite logical. I've identified 17 key compatibility factors through extensive research. Once I have sufficient data points on each candidate, I'll narrow down to the top 3 for Phase 2 evaluation." "Phase 2? His eyes lit up like a kid explaining his science fair project. "More intensive evaluation. Meeting friends and family, seeing living spaces, observing daily routines. Think of it as the interview process for life partnership." I stood up abruptly. "I'm leaving." Garrett looked genuinely confused, his pen hovering over the notebook. "But we haven't finished gathering baseline data. How will I know if you're compatible for Phase 2 advancement?" "You won't," I said, grabbing my purse with shaking hands. As I walked toward the exit, I heard him call out across the restaurant, "Should I mark this as early termination due to lack of scientific appreciation, or emotional volatility concerning systematic approaches?" Every head in the restaurant turned. I kept walking. 3 months later, my friend Zoe called me, laughing so hard she could barely speak. "You'll never guess what happened on my date last night," she gasped between giggles. Before she could continue, a terrible realization crept over me. Let me guess. Small leather notebook? Detailed spreadsheet? 17 compatibility factors? The silence on the other end was deafening. "How did you—" "Row 48, I said grimly. "Oh my god, that psycho is still doing this. Apparently his system needs more data points. Now I have a new rule. If someone asks about your seafood allergies while taking notes, run, and warn your friends."